Hello again. I am back on. This has definitely baked and it's all good to keep on decorating that Christmas ball. Okay, so for the next part, what I'm going to use is a little bit of scrap clay. And this is very important because it's going to be the part that connects the little fairy to the Christmas ball. So number one, I want it to be a little bit more softer than this. Just a second. Hello again, Jerry. So remember that I made her so that she would do this. She would sit like this against the ornament. And actually, I might get her closer to this part. So we need to get her a base. Hi, Dawn. Yes, we are. Grab this to have it a little bit more unmoving. Oh, she should be pretty much like this. Hi, Sandy. Yeah, I'm sure that she will be adorable. I promise you. So we need to make a base for her clothing and for the part that will be connected to the ball itself. So what you need to do here is to get your curve right. So this should be it. Now let's place a little bit of bacon bond. Yeah, I would say they are 6 millimeters. Let me check. But you can make them out of polymer clay. You know, you don't have to use beads. Yeah, it's 6 millimeters. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Wanda. I answered your question, but you don't say hi. Okay, so I said let's get a little bit of bacon bond. Now, the other thing that I need to add here, actually, I was in a hurry, too much in a hurry with this. I didn't need to put this yet. What color I'm going to do her dress. And considering her wings are kind of a fuchsia, I guess we can make her with a fuchsia dress, right? Hi, Chris. So let me grab some fuchsia. Actually, I'm going to use some magenta pearl. Let me mix a little bit of translucent in it because it's a little hard. Okay, because I'm going to have to put some magenta here because otherwise when you look from the side, you'll be seeing this. So it's not a good. Not so much. This is why I said in the beginning of the first live, this is why I placed this here. Because only Lisa Pavelka's polybonder would actually attach it properly. But I put a strip of clay just because I wanted something that would attach, and clay to clay will attach. So yeah, Deborah got mine. She was such a lifesaver. I didn't buy mine. It was a present from Deborah. When she told me, I was like, oh my God, you don't have to spend all this money. But she was like, no, no. The less you mess up your hands when you condition, the more stuff you can show us. Okay, so we are going to do her like this, right? Let me add the legs and the tushy and the hands that will be all covered up. So, oops, I need to move my chair a little. Okay, so this I'm going to, I have all these here I don't need. I'm going to actually divide it. Let me bring my screen. There's always a little delay, and I always set up the lives like that so there wouldn't be any need for buffering. So there's always a little delay between when I do stuff and when you see it. So that's why I'm answering a little bit with a delay. Okay, so number one, let's make a little bit of a tushy. And we need here. So I said this scrap clay needs to be fairly soft. Otherwise, you're going to have problems putting it in place. And then I need more here to hold up the dress. and the hand, the arms. I need a little bit longer. Depends on the wood. If it has a lot of texture to it, it should attach. You still need to put some bacon bond or something. But if it's very shiny, then yeah, you might have to glue it just, you know, to be on the safe side. But it also depends on what you're making, actually. Because if you're doing a box, you do different stuff. If you're doing a pendant, you do different stuff. So it depends a lot on what you're doing. And now let's do the legs. I was hoping the other Dawn would come on, the Dawn Brosnan. Because I keep trying to get in touch with her, and the email she had put on the website isn't working. Hi, Anna. Welcome back. What pretties are you working on, Anna? What are you going to bring us? Okay, now here we need to make a little bit of a knee, even if she's got fat legs like a baby. Hi, Tina. Welcome back. A little bit shorter. Okay, let's see if she's... Okay, pretty much like this. So, first, we need to cover up the stuff that will be inside. Yes, I do. It's if you look in the video description, it's there. Okay. All right, and you need to go fairly thin with all the covering. What's... Oh no, she's not Miley Cyrus. That's funny. But no, she's not Miley Cyrus. Where's my... Oh, goodness. There it is. So this is plain white clay and it's on the 6. So it's more towards the thin, on the thin side as thickness. And this should work just fine. Before placing it, grab a little bit of the living doll and attach the feet. And we need to make her baby fat feet. Yeah. No, the autocorrect. I had to disable it on my tablet because I just kept, especially when answering to people on Facebook, I was just saying all kinds of stupid stuff because of the autocorrect. Okay, so this will be one foot and this will be the other foot. And I'm bringing the living doll clay down. And yes, they can, the living doll and Premo are just fine together. It's no problem. And then we'll do the same for the hands. And I'll show you how to do very simple hands. So remember, what we are doing here is me trying to do it as simple as possible, as it would be for you to attempt to do it. Deborah. How are you feeling today, Deborah? I hope you didn't lose any more glasses or anything. Okay, and now we can start placing the... On this side, you need one straight line. And it's okay to patch it because you can smooth out everything. Yeah, better not, Tina. Uh, PolyClay plate doesn't have it? Huh. I thought she had. Let me check. Yep. Yes, she does, and it's on sale too. Hold on. There you go. And it's very fresh and very good. Oh, so no disasters except the toilet overflowed. That's a nice no disaster. An interesting no disaster. Yay! I am so glad you're here. That is awesome. You need to do a live. Maybe we need to do a live together. Polymer clay artist is an absolutely awesome artist, and he makes absolutely gorgeous stuff. You might want to check his channel. He makes gorgeous things. Even if he took a break because they moved house and all that, but you should see his, what a rig he made for taping. I envy that. Yes, it's awesome. And he's got a beautiful voice. When he talks, you feel like, oh my God, okay, I could listen to you forever. It's like he keeps telling fairy tales. Yes. Everything he makes is beautiful. He is just awesome all over, all together. Okay, and now we are going to just smooth this out a little bit. And this is the crappy white Premo clay. Nah, I'm telling the truth. People know that I always tell the truth, even if it's unpleasant for some. But you are an absolutely amazing artist. I love all your stuff. So just to get you up to speed, I'm doing a little fairy hugging a Christmas ball, and I'm trying to do it in a way that even beginners could do it. Yes, everything he makes is gorgeous. And I am glad he started again. I was going through withdrawals when he moved house and didn't post. Okay, let me do her tushy properly. Because of course we're gonna make her have pantalettes with ruffles. What's, oh, the Premo? Yeah, the only thing I use it for is as background. It's good for background, you know, it's good for silk screens and stuff. It's very good for that. For stencils. Yeah, he has a great voice. I'll have subscribed to his channel just to hear him talk. Honestly. Very charismatic voice. Okay, and for now we are going to leave it just, you know, smoothed out. We're gonna come back later and make a few folds to look like, oh, thank you. We're gonna make it look like crinkled fabric, you know, because it's pantalettes and they're gonna have some ruffles, of course. Okay, now let's place a little bit of the magenta here where the fairy is going to be against the ball. Okay, that's too high. Because as I said, when we look from the other side, we don't want to see scrap clay, right? Yep, that's the truth. Pretty much half the people in my life who ever get in contact with me hate my guts for that, and the other half love me to pieces for that. So it's all good. We want some from about here to about here. So I made a note with my fingernail, and this goes here. And then of course we need to put it around the arms. Just having fun sculpting. And these are very cute, and if we don't manage to, and probably we won't manage to get to that this time, next Sunday we'll do a few gnomes. And I've been trying to figure out, because I know people are here to see me do polymer clay, but I know quite a few ways of doing Christmas ornaments out of all kinds of things, you know, with polymer clay too. So I've been wondering if I should do that as well. So in case you were wondering, this I got it from Hobby Lobby. And I don't remember what it was, and the brand is completely wore off. So it's very short and very full. Yes, yes. Yes, always Sundays at 12:30 p.m. Central Time. And sometimes it happens like today that I do a second one, because most of the time I can only sit on the chair for an hour, but lately I managed to get an ergonomic chair with a chair cover that does that shiatsu type of massage, and that helps with my back issues, so I can sit for longer. If you noticed, I was for over an hour on the first one, and hopefully I'll be for over an hour on this one as well. Okay, this one needs cut a little bit. So all this clay, you want it to be on a not very thin, but still fairly thin thickness on the pasta machine. Of course, you can make the whole thing with this one, but why use brand new clay? Oops, sorry, wrong one. Yes, I did, and I actually set it up on live on Facebook, so you guys could see how I was struggling. It took me how long? An hour something. Oh, I grew up with making Christmas ornaments, but not for need. It's just that that was the tradition in my family, that everybody had to make some Christmas ornaments too. Okay, now we can continue with the rest of the dress. Yeah, it was definitely an adventure, me putting up the chair. I was able to. I was afraid that it would require anything, you know, that needs, let me see, so about this much, that needed strength in the hands or arms, but fortunately that was not the case. So I was able to put my chair up properly. Okay, so if I go like this, I need it about from here. And then exactly like in a real dress, I am going to do a sleeve cut. And then gently do some folding here. Now I can smooth this out too. Yeah, we had at one point to make a whole bunch of them because our tree caught on fire from a firework. One of those little, you know, those little sticks. And we always had the real trees. My dad especially, was quite adamant about it. Now, you know what? I want this to be a little bit up. So I think I'm going to insert a few sausages of clay there. And I made a mess here. It's okay. Everything can be fixed. Almost everything. That's the white sticky Premo. stupid white sticky Premo. Okay. This is not okay here. Don't want her to look like she's got a hump. There we go. Because the deal is that you're going to have to bake her like this. And we need a special baking support. And if you were wondering, yes, I would normally do this in several bakes, not in just one. But I'm trying to go on so we can finish at least this. Now let me do the hair. What color of hair do we want to do it? You can find them on PolyClay Play, and I have them in my Amazon store. I think that you can find them in PolyClay Play. Hold on a second. I'll tell you. But you have to be very careful with the size, because they come in a lot of sizes and you don't want the big ones. You want the 0 or 1. Okay. I know she's got the ball styluses. What? I think that she messed up the price. Because I kind of doubt that this cost $50. I'm gonna give you the link, but hold on to them until I contact her. And she doesn't say the size. Let me just give you mine, because I don't want to. Let me talk to Trish and ask her what's going on there. And I'll give you a link to my store. But yeah, the blank globes, you can get them in several sizes. And you need to get on the size, to click on the size. And let me give you the link to the sculpting tools. I'll give you the link both for these and for these, because these are also awesome. And you see, you know what? I'm gonna just give you the link to the sculpting tools, because if you look, there are actually some sets that are worth getting, because you get that, and that. But as I said, be careful with the size of the shaping tool. Silver or gold? Oh, that would be more of a mica thing. I mean, I can do her gold hair, of course, I can. I think we should go, if we go with that, then I should go with a mix of gold and pearl. Okay, these are the, on the tools themselves, you want the size 0. These are the ones with the silicone tips. You see how there are several sizes underneath? You want the size 0. Okay, let me go grab some. I think she's already stuck in there. But before doing that, let me first put her little fur color on. Because I'm gonna give her a fur color. Okay. You can do fur with this. If you do this. Does that show enough? Let me check the camera. Yeah. Okay. So what you do, you just get a pair of old cuticle shapers. If you want fuzzy fur. Or you can do it with a needle tool. Where's my needle tool? Here's my needle tool. Or you can do it with a needle tool and you just go. Also kind of press in and then bring out. And you make it look like it's quite furry. Like this. So, thank you. Yeah, a cuticle scissors, and you can do it with this also. It's see, it's good for not just for scales, but you can do Christmas trees as well. Well, not in the bad Premo app, but it works great. Okay, so let's give her a little bit of a color. And of course, I had red here, and it stained the white. I'll just turn it inside out. And I want to do this first because the hair will come on top of it and it would be much harder to do anything about it. Let's fur it up a little bit. Of course, you can put a piece of fur if you want, of real fur. And you can use real hair. Oh, and by the way, because it was talk about the eyelashes. There's a lot of talk in the art doll community about what's the best way to do eyelashes, and people who guard their secrets very tight and all that. Well, my way of, and of course I had to flatten this. As I said, it's much easier to do several bakes. My way of doing eyelashes when I do real eyelashes, and I'll have to tell you that you need to use real fur. Because the artificial fur might burn and melt in the oven when you bake the clay. But the way I do it is with real fur, and lately I've been using, whenever I needed doll eyelashes, I found at one point at Goodwill some leftovers of black mink. Well, and what you do, you get a piece of wax paper, then you draw a line of translucent liquid clay, a very thin line about the size of a toothpick. And then you gently, with tweezers, you get a piece of the fur, the tips, because you only need the tips, you only need about this much of it. You get a piece and then you gently cut them, and then you place them on that line of liquid clay. And then you bake it. It doesn't have to be translucent. And pretty much half of the whole thing you're going to lose. But then you just cut exactly the length, because you need about 1.5, 2 millimeters of that translucent to fix the eyelashes line. It's like fake eyelashes for dolls, or art dolls. But they are really, really tiny. Okay, now let me grab some gold and some pearl white and get her not to fall. And now, because we are going to make it kind of hair-like, I'm not going to mix these. Let me get this back to focus properly. Go. So I just do. Let me actually move these a little bit out of the way. And you know what? While I'm working on this, give me just a second. Just need to find it. There we go. Let me just do, because her not having eyebrows, it's really irritating me. So let me do her eyebrows. Because they will have time to dry by the time I'm done with the hair. Okay. Okay. Now I can work on the hair. Okay, is everybody not saying anything, or did I get frozen? Okay. I saw that something happened because I have the camera view up, and that covers my video playing on YouTube. And this we want to do pretty much like when you do a faux bone. You want all these to be very, very, very thin. So just keep. I know. That's why we all love to watch you too. I always love to watch how people create stuff. It's fascinating. Hey. Okay, and now the next one I'm going to be able to start using. But yeah, I am very looking forward after the new year to try and Cernit translucent. Because I don't know if you heard me talking about it before, but I wasn't able to do certain stones in Pardo because they require techniques that involve a lot of um, deformation. And whenever you have a technique that requires deformation, you want a clay that is soft. Yeah, I know. That would be awesome. That would be really awesome. Actually, you just give me an idea. I might do that. I might actually do that. A list where people can go. Because we can use something like, well, not TeamSpeak, but something like C3 we can use, and people can talk. Yeah, I know. I have used neat projects with Cernit. Yeah, I know. I heard that it is almost as good as Pardo when it comes to transparency. But the fact that it can be deformed easier, I want to try to do the Peter side, honestly. That's what I want to try to do. Because the Peter side cannot, I wasn't able to do a realistic version of it with Pardo. Okay, so now we need to smear her head, obviously. I tried it before. I know that they have reformulated it and they came up with way more colors than they used to be. I worked before with it, I don't know, like 10 years ago, something like that. And to be honest, I didn't like because it was so soft and it doesn't hold detail that great. But now they came up with some special doll formulations. So I am really curious, including a semi-translucent doll. Okay, you kind of need to see what I'm doing, right? That's the whole idea. So yeah, I want to try those. Yeah, but it's great with canes, only that it's very expensive. I mean, now that I got the Never Need, it's not that hard anymore to condition it, but it is way more expensive than the other ones. So, and honestly, I wouldn't think for a second about buying Cernit. The problem is that uh, the clay factory doesn't offer any kind of perks when it comes to shipping. You know, like with PolyClay Play, if your order is over $100, it's free shipping. The clay factory doesn't do that. So, you know, I'm not sure if I would want to buy so much. Not only that, but her shipping cost doesn't go by weight. Her shipping cost goes by amount. So really not very happy with that. So if I buy light stuff for $50, I pay $15 shipping, which is not right. Not in my book, I'm sorry. I'm not saying I'm still going to buy some Cernit. I got the last metallics. I still need to get around to them because I want to do a project with them when I review them. Hey, stay there. Now, see, at this point, my doll would be baked already, so I wouldn't have to worry about some of the stuff getting squished, but because it's not baked yet, okay, let's do something else. Hey. Let's do this first. Yeah, conditioning Pardo is not hard. Check my tutorial on how to condition Pardo. It's not hard at all. The whole secret is to, I actually did not just a tutorial, but I did a live one time because Trish sent me, was a couple packages of Pardo translucent worth that somebody had sent back that they couldn't condition it and they couldn't. And I saw why, because they tried to condition it on a very thick sheet. Well, I want the translucent, especially. Do this first and then we'll come on top of it and do more stuff. I hope that I'll be able to do it like this without having to bake the rest first. But I might not be able to because it's a pain to do the hair. Well, let's do the other stuff and then I'll bake it and we can continue the next Sunday with the hair. Because I want to make her look cute, not uncute. And it's very hard to put the hair properly when the rest of the doll is squishy. No. Okay. Let's do the hands. Yeah, Pardo is my favorite too. And I'm going to get back on the Pardo wagon after the New Year. Okay, let's do her hands. So what you do first? You flatten. And then you kind of need to put it on one finger. Here. And you first separate the thumb. Okay, I think I need to refocus the camera. There we go. Okay, so after flattening the so-called hand, you separate the thumb first. Okay, right now I'm working with the camera in between what I'm working and that. Then this part, see how the middle would be here. I'm gonna go just a little bit past the middle. What? Well, she makes stickiness all over my hands. So gently roll the fingers, rub the fingers and gently roll them. Just a little bit, you don't need to do a lot of that. I'm trying not to get out of the camera view. Okay, let me try something. See if it doesn't, it lets me. As you know, I love to show you this. If it lets me. No, it doesn't. I was going to try and show you how I'm trying to. But yeah, with the Pardo, the main thing is that you need to warm it up because of that beeswax. Don't ever try to put uh, clay softener in Pardo because you're gonna mess it up, especially if you're talking translucent. Okay, we need a little bit of more firmness here and remove all the stuff on the white here. It's very hard to sculpt here. Okay, I think I need to find another position for the camera for this. Hold on, give me just a minute. I cannot, and stupid Hangouts doesn't let me do zooming and stuff. Oh. Okay, maybe here I can do it better. Okay, let's try this. Because at least now the camera is not between me and the clay. Do this again. Okay, so first flatten. And cut the thumb away. And round it up a little bit. Now remember, this is not an art doll. It's not anything. It's just something that is supposed to be fun. And you're supposed to not get frustrated. Then, from the middle, you go a little bit towards the pinky, and that's where you cut. what should be kind of the half. And gently round up a little bit the tips here. You don't need more than that. And then you can bring them back together and come from underneath and bend. Okay, now okay, there we go. You can do a little extra feet of realism if you want to. Give her some fingernails. But believe me, nobody's going to look at her hands or nails. It's good enough if they look okay from a little bit farther away. The toothpick is practically rounding up, and then you can pull back together. This looks like crab, but as I said, it's very hard to do it in one go. Now the feet. With the feet, first grab at the here. Grab right here and do it a little bit thinner. This will be the calf. And then now see how I'm grabbing here because I want this to stay here. That's the heel. And here again we do the always the toe, the big toe is going to be about 1/3. And round up. You can come in and flatten this area just a little bit. And then cut the other toes. Believe me, I know how to do this. I can show you my greatest feat of... Hold on a second. It's just very hard to do it in this position and to keep it at the... No, it's my main issue is because I don't see very well and I have to hold it at the camera and in this angle. But I just wanted to show you, if we talk about details, see this little baby fairy. It's his not even 2 inches tall. And he has toes, and not just toes, he has toenails. Hold on. I'll show you. So, yeah, and he has a tushy too. And he sleeps in an acorn. Oh, yeah, it's hard. Okay. Okay, yeah, it is. It is a little hard. You loud. Good. But no, it's and the worst part is, as I said, the rest of the doll is still very soft because it's not baked. Let me refocus properly. And that's the biggest issue. But yeah, this footsie is not bad. And here it's okay to be like this because I'm going to put some ruffles in here for the pantalettes. So first do the ankle, then grab here, then a little here, and again here, then a little here. Because that's the whole thing. You want the heel to be there. And talking of which, let me describe to you a little bit. Let me do it separately so I can explain to you better the... So if you craft a foot, okay, let's say you have the... There are very few, there's just a few tips that you need to be careful about. So, as I said, let's say you have the ankle here. You have the ankle here, right? You start creating your foot going down. It has to be fairly narrow, of course. And this being the ankle. Now, depending if this is the on the right or on the left, you always have those that joints that's here. The thing that's inside. Hold on a second. Okay, so sorry for that. My chair got caught in something. As I was saying, excuse me. Okay, as I was saying, depending if it's the right or the left, you know, you have that joint that's here. On the outside, the one that's on the outside of the foot is a little bit higher than the one that's on the inside of the foot. So this is the first thing that you need to take into consideration. Make the one that's on the inside a little lower than the one that's on the outside. So this should be your heel pretty much. Then as you come down, as I said, so this is the inside, this is the inside. As you come down, you make sure that the inside is more curved than the outside. And also most of the time the foot is narrower near the ankle, and then it will keep going wider. Generally speaking, a foot that has a high arch is viewed as more elegant and prettier. So try to do a high arch. And there you have the sole. And then here, remember what I said, that the toe usually is about almost 1/3 of the rest that you need to take into consideration when you sculpt the foot. And that is also valid for the rest of the toes, because the rest of the toes will be much thinner. So you can go ahead and thin out this whole thing. And obviously you'll have to cut it off. Then you need to do a little bit of in here. This will be the joint of the pinky, and you bring it all the way there, and there's going to be a little bit of a joint under here too, and something that separates the two. And then a good one. This is a good one. And then here you want to go in a little bit. These need to be even shorter. I have a corner here. I always have to separate. This is how I sculpt. I always have to pretty much separate the toes while I'm sculpting, even if I bring them back together afterwards. but in order to get the proper definition, and then when you get on the back of it, you need to take into consideration that what's near the fold is going to be in a little bit. And then you round these up. And then you'll have a few folds here at the pinky. Now you can bring them back together. And you can do the, and there's another thing, there's going to be a little bit of a dip here too. And you can do the, but this is very fast, of course, just to show you the principles of sculpting a foot. I would actually do especially the big toe, and sometimes when I do hands, I do what's called fake fingernails. Well, I used to. I don't do that anymore. And I would just get a little strip of liquid clay and bake it on a crochet. You know, bake droplets on a crochet, and then just take the droplets and apply them on the fingernail, toe, whatever. But pretty much this will be it. If you want to do a foot real quick. But it takes much longer. I mean, it takes me at least half an hour to do a properly done a foot. Okay. Oh my goodness, Cherry, that looks horrible. That sounds horrible, not looks horrible. Okay, let's get back to our little fairy's foot here. Let me do the second foot. I already shaped it. And again, about 1/3 will be the toe. The big toe. And then the rest. As I said, you don't have to be super duper realistic on this one. It's just a little Christmas ornament. If you want, you can take a lot of time, but as I said, remember that it's much easier to do several bakes. I would normally do the head, then I would do all the base scrap polymer clay, and then I would do at least one more before getting to the hair, because you want everything to stay properly where it's supposed to. And I'm not going to place it on the bowl until she's pretty much ready to be finished. So yeah, she's good to go in the oven for a little bit. And we'll continue next Sunday because I'm getting really tired. I've been on for what, 3 hours total? Or more than 3 hours total. So we'll do this next Sunday. I'll um, bake her, and I'll actually put on the ruffles, leave just one ruffle to one of the ends to put on while I'm on the live, and then we'll do the hair on the live as well, and put on the, I didn't even get to the, these will be the wings, and of course we'll use some diamond dust on them and we'll fix them on, so she'll be really pretty. And then if we have time, we'll do a few more gnomes and stuff with Super Sculpey this time. Okay, I really need to go lay down a little bit. So thank you all for being here with me, and I'll see you next Sunday. Remember, at 12:30 p.m. Central Time. Thank you. Thank you for everything. Have a wonderful what's left of the Sunday. Goodbye. Yes, she will be cute. Okay, have a great Sunday. See you next Sunday.